Hello and welcome back to the Misfits podcast, rated 5 stars on iTunes by Sneaky Cunt. He says, erect waffle. He says, well, ignore that part. That was just the subtitle is erect waffle, unrelated. He says, I beat my wife while listening to this. It helps me concentrate on where I'm going to hit her. Glad to be of service to you there, Sneaky Cunt. That sounds like a relaxing pastime, beating your wife. I'm joined today by my co-host.
Hey, Fitz, that's really fucked up. That's messed up, man. Domestic violence isn't a joke.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was kind of funny.
What if it's two clowns beating the shit out of each other?
No.
What if it's like two real little people? They're kind of comically small, and then he trips her over, and she's like, ah.
No.
This is Toby.
Hi.
I'm joined also by Swagger Souls off camera,
Hello.
Mason aka Zuckles,
G'day.
Jay aka McCreamy,
What's going on?
and Big Boy Matt.
Hey.
What it do?
Guys, this is gonna go on YouTube. The last one did. Obviously, that was me being bald.
Yeah.
Still bald. Just wearing a
Bald
hat,
and
guys.
bold.
It's all good. Bald and bold.
Yep.
Jay's not bald. He's just got a skin tone hat.
It's beige.
Yeah, don't be confused. It's only a beanie, everyone.
Yeah,
That's
only a
he
beanie.
didn't get the
I have
champion
not shaved
logo
my head.
tattooed on his
No,
face.
I have not done that.
You may also notice that we are all kitted out in Misfits merch. We've got
Yo, gang.
3 prison inmates here in
Let's
all
go.
orange, and then we got the white
Love to
boys.
see it.
White supremacists.
White.
Ooh, white.
We decided on the white boys as the
Oh,
name.
white boy.
Yeah, not the
white
former one. That was a
Fuck.
Yeah.
different time.
Sorry.
Guys,
Oh.
what's been going on? I mean, it feels like the video podcast actually went up this morning. That's when I put it live.
Yeah.
It's been somewhat well received.
Yeah.
I've been trying to avoid the comments to avoid people
Yeah.
expressing extreme disappointment in my lack of hair. But it's been all good.
I had a resting bitch face for the entire
You
podcast.
seem hung up on the fact that you have a resting bitch face. I didn't really notice it that much. It
I
was
just-
more just that you were sitting back.
I just looked really angry the whole time.
Yeah, but I can relate. I have a resting bitch face. I always look angry.
Ooh, the fans don't know that though.
Yeah.
They've seen my eyebrows. They can kind of, I guess, guess.
Nah. You can't tell from the eyebrows alone the sheer magnitude of your resting bitch face.
See,
That's true.
audience, I've decided my fate from the beginning where they set up the cameras with me leaning back, which means I have to lean back every podcast now, which means I always just
No,
look
you
like
don't. Look, like I'm up
a
here
resting
in the
bitch.
frame, and you're just down here like a little hobbit.
no, because if I if I put my mic up, then it blocks Jay or something. I don't know exactly what it does.
Well, whatever. You're cruising. You're chilling.
I'm extremely comfortable though.
chillin'.
I wouldn't.
Good.
I wouldn't say that you have a resting bitch face, Swagger. It's more just like. It's like a aggressive face. It's more aggressive than a
Okay.
bitch face.
Thank you.
It's like an
That
angry
makes me
dad
feel
face.
way better.
It's like a good thing. It's like it's good unless you're trying to like tell a kid like, hey, I hope you have a good day. In which case, it's just going to be a confusing message for them.
Not gonna
Yeah.
work.
Like if you go up to a kid and be like, hey, you want an ice cream? He's going to be like, holy fuck! Like, what is this aggression coming from this
Hey,
man?
kid, want to get in my van? I have a puppy in there.
And it's like you're not going to get away with
No,
that
no
kind of
way.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah.
future as a pedophile
Yeah,
is ruined.
I'd
by
never
your
make it.
resting angry face. You look great when you laugh, though. It's when the eyebrows go up, and then it's like, look at this welcoming, lovely man. With,
Yeah.
you know,
High
Straight back to just-
cheekbones, very jolly.
Yeah.
what are you looking at, Mason?
Your fucking head cunt. So bald.
It's bold, you know. It's all good. I'll take the hat off.
Oh, nice.
The problem is that, like,
Put it back on. Put
Oh,
it back
dude,
on.
come on. I got a glare going into my eyes.
the problem is that, like, I have to. If I'm gonna rock it, I have to truly rock it and shave it regularly.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise, I get like the #1 look, and it just looks a bit weird.
Yeah,
I think
I'm starting to look like Sid from Toy Story.
you can look good with like the short. I think that for me, it's either like I grow it out or I just continue shaving it down to the fucking scalp.
Just scalping yourself.
I don't know. It's been like over a week now of me being bald. I'm still enjoying the benefits.
Yeah.
Still not really sure how I feel about the way it looks, but you know, I'm gonna say it. I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad I
there
gave
we
it
go.
a try.
It's all,
That's
what
lit dog.
That's what
you
counts.
think that matters.
And to all the Twitter stands who are saying, you know, I can't believe they seem more disappointed than like.
They're not even disappointed. They're fucking devastated.
They're like, no, the hair. I mean,
Get fucked.
to be honest,
That's really funny. I kind of just would have assumed that the stands would be like, I support anything you do,
some of them are like that. Some of them are definitely disappointed.
They're probably hoping to like meet up with you at an event, and, like snip off a little bit of your hair, put it in like their collection book
Yeah.
of photos of you. You
Try
can't
to
do it
clone
anymore.
Can't do
you.
that anymore.
Like what I did when I first met you all.
Tough shit. Okay, guys. It's, I didn't do it for the stands. I did it for me.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
and
all that
that's what
matters.
matters. Anyway, what's been going on in the last week besides that?
Mason, why don't you explain what you got up to last night?
Yeah, so I built the Taj Mahal with my brother. Finally unboxed that.
Let's just
of
clarify,
Lego.
out of Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of Lego.
They
We
did
didn't
not
actually
that would be a
build the
big
Taj
feat.
Mahal, mate. No. Yeah, we spent about 7 hours on it, and it just got kicked over about 4 times by Swags.
What,
Yeah.
what
You got
time
to
did-
explain why it got kicked over.
there
though.
wasn't
So
incentive.
we had a donation goal, and every time we'd reach it, Swags would come in and boot it over. For the first 2 times, we did it for $500 because, we didn't want to be too much of a tired ass. And then we ended up bumping up to $1,000 because fuck that.
Big boy numbers.
That's fair. That's fair. It would have taken you 4 months to build it. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could have probably got it done if it hadn't been booted over.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
Wait, hang on. Were you aware that he was going to come in and boot it over, or do you have no idea?
yeah, the
Yeah.
donation goal was actually called Swag's Kick. Okay.
Yeah.
So you knew going into this that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Watching them, they were so defeated. After the first kick, they were just like, what's the point building it? He's just going to come in and kick it again.
Yeah, it's exactly what
And-
you were saying.
And God, like, I was watching it, and as soon as I saw Swaggy kick it the final time, I ran downstairs, and I was like, because I just saw Mason sitting on the ground, just looked so defeated, so done.
You could feel you just felt miserable.
I felt bad.
Yeah.
I felt bad to do it, but that was the whole premise. That was the entire premise, was that I would come down and fucking kick it. So, you can't really hate me for it.
Yeah.
But
Make some money.
When I kicked it the last time, the goal was Swag shirtless stomp. So I had to take my shirt off.
Which, by the
and
way,
do it.
just so you know, could have got Mason banned on Twitch.
Really?
You're not allowed to be shirtless on Twitch.
I'm that hot, huh?
Can have no nipples on.
That's
Twitch.
very odd.
Yeah.
That's a dumbass rule. But anyways, we did it anyways. And, I come down in my onesie just tied around my waist. And I just fucking go up.
That was actually you?
That was me.
'Cause I skipped through the VOD this morning, and all I saw was like very little progress being made on the Taj Mahal, and then at some point, just a shirtless guy in a helmet that was Swag. I didn't even reckon. I didn't know who the fuck it was. I was like, someone's taken his helmet.
They actually made a lot of progress, but you just couldn't tell because a lot of the stuff was off screen. And I mean, for anyone watching at home, it was 5,000 pieces.
They were
That's
about
so many.
1,200, 1,500 pieces in by the time I
Yeah.
finally kicked it.
They-
But
They're like
had
tiny
done a
pieces
lot.
too. It was like
Yeah.
a tiny little.
it was
thing.
very
1,200?
impressive.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Every time I got kicked over to, we'd have to fucking search for every individual
Yeah,
page.
because
Oh my God, true.
Because the first time they didn't have that much done, and I'm like, well, I have to make it an inconvenience, so I just kicked it under the bed, and they
Yeah.
had to go under the bed and find all the pieces, and that was the whole thing. But
I said at one point you kicked something into a wall.
yes,
I missed that bit.
I think that was the second one.
What time of the night did you start the stream?
So 9
It was about-
p.m.
No, it was like 11.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because we went till 6.
Yeah.
6 in the morning,
Right.
building the Taj
Right.
Mahal.
Wait, are you serious?
It was
Yeah.
like,
Oh my
till 5 or
God.
6 a.m. Yeah.
Everyone in the house was up till then as well.
Yeah, we were fucked by the end, man. Like, I think we were all fucked.
And you like your sleep schedule has been fixed as well.
Yeah.
So you were up for a long time.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I was
Yeah.
really struggling by the end.
Why did you decide to do it so late in the evening?
Well,
Was it like a spur of the moment decision, or did you plan this?
no, it was spirit in the moment. Yeah,
Just fucking let's build the Taj Mahal, let's stream it.
yeah,
Good on
Fucking
you.
sick.
It was you and your brother, right? It was Kobe.
yep. Me and
All
Cobes.
right, shout
You
out
should
Kobe.
send the stream to an editor and get them to make a video out of it. I think
I'll
that'd be
probably,
cool.
I'm gonna edit it up.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
gonna
yeah, no.
chop
Actually,
something with
chop
it.
the fuck out of it, make some sick shit out of it.
It's
Yeah.
like Mr. Beast type shit.
Do you remember
Yeah.
back when you still lived in Geelong, streaming you changing the light bulb?
Oh my God, that was one of the most
so good.
epic streams I've ever seen.
That should have been a video.
I think it was you and me, right?
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
and Jay were in a call watching that stream, just laughing our asses off, and I was recording the entire thing. I
Literally
was
dying.
recording my desktop. I think I might still have the footage.
I think
but
you sent it to me. I've seen it.
oh yeah, you've seen it.
Yeah.
I mean,
So funny.
it's gonna get copyrighted because you were playing like Hans Zimmer the whole time, but that is something worth revisiting.
yeah, I
That
think
was
it's
fucking funny.
worth it even getting
Yeah.
demonetized. It's so
It's
hilarious.
like changing a light bulb. It's one of those things. It was so simple.
Still
but
can't do it.
so
so
good.
great. It's
You made
so
it so
great.
epic.
Well, you were freaked out by it. You thought you were gonna get electrocuted and shit.
Yeah. Well, fucking who knows? Can't you know? I've been in pools with toasters at this stage. You don't fucking know what's gonna happen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, an unplugged
true.
toaster you thought was going to electrocute you.
People love weird streams like that. Like I a few weeks ago, well, probably a couple months ago now, I had to build some shelving units for my room, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just stream it. So I built the shelving units. It was like 5 hours or something, and people fucking loved it. And people have asked me to do more shit like that. Unfortunately, I'm like, Well, I don't need any more IKEA bills. But
I reckon I'll just
fill
open,
my room.
I might just open a PO box and just get cunts to send me Lego and just fucking build it.
Become a Lego
I
streamer.
mean, we do
Yeah.
have a PO box.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys.
Yeah, should we plug
Fucking-
that?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should
I
plug
mean,
that.
Well,
Well,
do you want to
yeah.
open up some of the PO
Yeah.
box right now? And just while he's getting those packages, because we do have some packages from the PO box to open, I'm just gonna plug the new Patreon real quick because
Patreon.
we've decided to open a Patreon. Obviously optional, but basically the thing is with these videos is that they're very fucking expensive to make, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of basically. There's a lot of resources that go into them money-wise. Even just the trip to IEM Sydney was really fucking expensive. And there's a few other projects that we've been working on that are unreleased, which just are racking up in fucking cost. So we're like, look, okay, let's launch a Patreon. Let's see
Yeah.
like if we can crowdfund this and just make it so that you guys can fund and we can just have a set fund where it's like all of this is just going to go into making epic videos.
and that's all it will go to as well.
It's
the
all it will
only
go
thing it'll
to.
go to.
Yeah, like we will not personally be collecting on the Patreon. It's only to put back into what you guys are seeing. So yeah, it's up right now. It launched today. If you want to support us, you can get all kinds of perks. Exclusive early access to the Misfits podcast, uncensored and unreleased
There's some
Misfits.
funny shit. There's some funny shit.
There is funny shit. Uncensored and unreleased Misfits vlog content. So there's lots of extras. We got
Yep.
so many deleted scenes that just don't make it in. All kinds of crazy shit. Discounts on merch, access to Patreon only Discord, and just general stuff like that. So
In
It's
other
like-
words, it's fucking worth.
Yeah, it's
so.
actually good perks.
Yeah, and we tried to make the prices really reasonable as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because our intention wasn't to make it that we were making the most money from it. Our intention was purely to make it so that the most people will be able to get access to the most content from it. So I think
Yeah.
the lowest tier has most of the good stuff anyway, which is cool.
Yeah, it's really just paying for, extra shit if you want it. It's totally
Yeah.
optional. But yeah, if you
Really
are
worth
interested in pledging, which would be very much appreciated, you can click the link in the description of the YouTube video or go to patreon.com/misfits to support us and get access to all of those juicy rewards. Juicy. Swagger, how we looking there with that mail that you've been opening
There's
up?
some fucking good shit in here, man.
Looks
There's some interesting stuff. We got letters for everybody here.
Pass some things along. Maybe we should
So
read
we
some
got,
letters out.
Yeah, we got one for Mason. We got one for Cam. Just pass that down. We got one for Matt. Just pass it down. We got one for Jay. Just
hell
pass
yeah.
it down. One for Toby.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
just yeet it.
If you're listening to the audio of this on Spotify or iTunes or SoundCloud, maybe
Listen to this ASMR of us opening letters.
or go and check out the YouTube channel because these will be posted on there now. Okay, that's a little too close to the mic there, Matt.
Oh,
a little bit.
come on. Oh,
Okay,
come
can you
on.
just? All right. I actually ripped my letter by mistake.
Oh, toxic.
Oh, it's actually ripped right in the middle as well. I'm sorry.
Someone
oh
on my
God.
this is from someone that watches my streams. They asked me if I had received a pride flag.
Well, there you go.
Hold up to the camera.
Okay, well, I'm going to read this one. I reckon that doesn't have anything too depressing in it. All right, this guy says, "Dear Fitz, dude, you are so cool." You're telling me. I love that you kind of are the dad of the group. Huh? You guys agree? Surely. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
You're already balding, so.
Dude, absolutely just took me out by my kneecaps there. Plus, you rock at games, apparently. And most first person. Nice one, dude. I wish you streamed, but I understand that you don't and respect that decision. Oh, thank you very much, man. Anyway, thank you for being who you are. Your support and love for the guys, no homo, keeps them together, especially in the beginning. I love that you and Toby have this long history and that you still stick together. It's the sex that keeps us together, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't even play games anymore.
No eye contact either. It inspires me to keep making friends, even though I lose mine very quickly. Oh, matey, come on. On a bad day, watching you and Swags gives me the strength to leave the house because I laugh enough to not cry. Oh, Sammy, mate, thank you very much for your letter. There you go, old mate Sam.
Thanks, Sam, for all the stuff.
Thanks for this. Is this all
Where's
from
the
Sam?
stickers? We're supposed
Yeah,
to have
so
I
stickers.
believe
Keep
this is
passing it
all
out.
from Sam. Yeah, we do have stickers here.
What is
Those
this?
are
they're
stickers
all-
for me and Jay.
These stickers are, we got Wonder Woman, we got Captain America, Shield, we have an Autobot logo, we have Superman and Batman. There seems to be a car. I don't know. I think it's a Skyline. I don't know.
For Matt.
What is this thing?
Hmm?
What is
No, I
that?
think that's for Toby. Cars for Toby.
what
Yeah,
is
he
that?
gets a sticker.
It's a Subi.
A Subi? What is Subaru?
Yeah.
You're showing these stickers, and I don't think anyone can even see them on camera, probably. But
My stickers are better.
is
So.
this all from Sam?
Yeah.
All right.
I believe this is all from Sam.
Some
Yeah.
good
We
letters
also
there.
have a Tamagotchi dead as fuck. Probably has been dead
Are you
for
kidding
15
me?
It's been
years.
sitting in the mail.
No way.
No.
Not a
Remember-
dead Tamagotchi.
Shout out to anyone who remembers Tamagotchis. Are these still around? Are these still a thing?
And also,
I had one.
for some reason, a box filled with earrings.
I'm not putting those anywhere
just
near my
earrings.
Just
ears.
yoinked it from his mother.
Oh, I really hope
Steal some
not.
jewelry.
That's a little odd.
Should we get our ears pierced live on the podcast and chuck those bad boys
Fuck
in?
off.
You hear Ryan in the
That's
distance.
a
Yes.
dangerous idea. We also have some fan art here, some really awesome fan art.
Oh, awesome. Chuck that over here.
Let's go.
Oh, okay. Good enough. Look, chuck it here. I'll
Another
hold it
cool
up to the
one?
camera.
All right.
Fuck it. That's actually hella
That's
sick.
actually nice.
Look at that shit.
Very
Legit.
awesome.
That's some good shit.
Yo, that's dope.
That's actually fucking
Yeah.
pog. Is this from Sam? All from Sam?
I
Gives
believe
gaze?
this was all from Sam. This was all from the one box.
Mate, legendary. We should put this up on the fucking fridge. Give us the
Yeah.
gaze.
That's actually some good shit.
That was awesome.
All right, what else is up in that little box here?
Fucking
man?
sick.
We have
Fuck
a,
yeah.
This is just another box. It came with a.
That one was addressed to Toby Souls.
Yeah.
So you and I.
So for me and you.
That's some good handwriting.
I don't think we
from
should
the
read.
looks.
That's a long letter.
Yeah, we
It
shouldn't
is-
read all the
it's
letters
a
out.
very long letter.
Yeah.
We'll read that off camera.
Later, but let's see what they fucking gave us.
Yeah,
I
gu-
bet it's a bracelet.
I bet it's a dildo. Guys, if you want to send us stuff at the PO box, it's all the details are down below in the description. on
Also
YouTube.
sponsored by G-Sups.
let's just get it all out of the way.
Yes. Let's get our sponsors
Sponsored by
out.
G-Subs, guys. We've been sponsored by G-Subs for a while. We absolutely love them. I personally drink
Oh.
it almost every day, especially before recording.
So
I've
good.
had 2 cups
It's
and I'm
keto-friendly?
absolutely beaming.
It's keto friendly.
It is
It's
keto
organic.
friendly.
I'm loving it.
It's not chalky like fucking G Fuel, which is trash.
G Fuel.
Come on,
Actual
G
shit.
Fuel. What the heck, dude? G-Sups is where it's at.
Look,
Damn right.
Game of subs.
genuinely though, I've had both, and I prefer Gamer Subs any day of the week. It's
So
actually
fun.
good shit.
Lots of flavors,
Yeah,
very
my-
much variety.
My favorite flavor is probably the blueberry acai. That's the one that I have at my house, the one that I drink all the time. It's good shit.
Huh.
What's in the box, Swag?
This one is interesting.
Looks like arts and
Because
crafts.
it is bracelets for everybody and with letters inside. On the letters, it says, please do not read in a video.
Okay,
So I
thanks for
guess,
clarifying.
hey, we'll just toss these, chuck the bracelets on.
Oh hell yeah! Well, they're actual bracelets.
They are legit bracelets.
Mate, friendship
shit.
bracelets.
No way.
Fuck yeah.
The fuck?
These are kind of cool.
Yeah, guys. By the way, G subs, fucking Gamer Subs
Let's go.
GameSubs.gg/misfits.
/misfits. Oh no, it's
Oh,
code
this is
misfits.
lit.
Fucking
Okay.
sick. Wait, holy shit.
Oh, I think they underestimated the size of my hand.
Yeah, my wrist is actually like at least 3 times bigger than this, mate. But
Does it
Yeah.
unclasp?
yeah,
don't know.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, it
yeah,
does.
that's how you
Mine
put
is
it on.
elastic.
That's how you put it on.
Elastomer.
Okay, I'm gonna
Fucking
need
hell,
some
man.
help.
I am not a
Some
jewelry
help.
man.
okay, let's just
Can't
all
even get this
talk
on.
at once while we put these bracelets on.
Yo, lit.
Guys, what else has been happening? Let's move away from this because
Yeah.
you know, the people on audio are probably going to start feeling left out pretty soon.
They should be watching the video.
We had an interesting night on Sunday. We did a practice
You did
show
something very exciting. Yeah.
for potentially an up and coming tour at some time this year. We really want to take the podcast and do a live tour and just make it a whole fucking show, make it a spectacle. And I don't know, we want to do a tour of the US, we want to do a tour of Australia. We got big plans. None of it's confirmed yet, but basically on Sunday we went to a local comedy bar, invited some friends along, and just did a live show to see how it would go.
did?
Because none of us, I mean, Jay, actually, you have stage experience.
Yeah.
I have like very little stage experience
I have a
from
little as well.
school and from when I did stand up in university, but it's been a while, you know, a bit rusty. So we kind of wanted to check that we wouldn't just die on stage
Yeah.
and not know how
Yeah.
to handle ourselves. But I think it went really well.
No, it was a lot of fun.
Extremely well.
Yeah, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't in front of a real crowd. It was in front of our friends, but you know, it
Yeah.
sounded good. We were confident. I think. I think the show was pretty good. Needs refining, obviously, but
Yeah.
I reckon we can actually make a pretty fucking entertaining hour and then do a Q&A and shit, and
It'll be epic.
it'd be epic style.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully
Without
at
a
some
doubt.
point we will be taking this podcast on the road and yeah, just fucking selling the fuck out. Just-
Sending
just
it.
on a-
Absolutely.
Let's do it
full
next
sending.
week.
just on a tour bus.
Yeah.
Imagine that the content will be outstanding.
It would be.
And yeah, plus we'll be making big tour money.
That's the best part.
Yeah, so that's something potentially exciting. And yeah, after the practice show, we all proceeded to get completely fucked up.
Yeah, we decided to go out to drink, and it was originally going to be, hey, just a couple of beers, let's
Yeah,
just relax,
just a
have a good
couple.
night. And then, someone's like, hey, skull a drink. And everyone's like, yeah, let's skull a drink. So we skull a couple beers and then immediately
Right from
pour
there.
more beers and then
A couple more.
Yeah,
Well, it was-
Ryan just gets that
Skull it
look on his
again.
face, and he just starts going, get more shots, and just feeds it to everyone.
It was Ryan really who was in charge, as always, of the level of fucked upness that everyone got. I actually kind of held my own a little bit because I never had to skull a whole bottle of soju like
Yeah,
Jay did
yeah,
and like
and me.
Swagger did.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Mason, you skull as well.
Yeah.
Which is
biggest regret
So-
of that night was sculling that fucking bottle of soju.
It's always the soju.
It's always the
Soju is
soju.
so much. Like that's so much alcohol.
it's only
in a bottle of
12%
soju.
though.
Well, that's like
That's a lot,
fucking.
yeah.
It was like
That
2
is a
to
reasonable
3
amount.
drinks. That's like 2 to 3 standard
It
drinks.
comes in like a beer too, so it's just
Yes.
like, oh, I can just
I
casually drink
genuinely like. Oh fuck! I've even forgotten what I was going to say now.
Jay's actually suffered permanent memory loss.
Permanent brain damage.
Yeah, but I remember like Jay was the first one. I'm gonna give up on putting this fucking bracelet on. It's too small. Thank you though. Jay was the first one to skull it, and I knew as soon as I saw him
Did
he
in
did
like fucking 10 seconds.
he did
cunt.
it so quick. Like I was
Yeah.
actually impressed. And yeah, I just knew it was gonna be a remake of. Because you did the same thing in IEM Sydney. You just sculled the fuck out of
The soju there.
soju
too.
there.
It's always
absolutely
soju.
trashed.
And yeah, you
Yeah.
just lit the fuck up. And he wasn't even like Jay was good though. You're actually a really fun drunk.
Yeah.
You're,
He's
I
jolly.
feel like I'm just like the most lovable drunk.
when you're drunk, Jay, you just let go of everything.
Yeah.
You're just fucking. You're just lovable, and you
Yeah.
know, you just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good energy. It's always good to see.
Good vibes.
we were just having a staring contest for like 30 seconds.
I'm pretty sure it was 30 minutes.
It went for a while. I was like, how long are we going to keep this up? And I am deadpan staring into his soul, and he's just staring into mine.
Just not blinking.
Yeah.
That was the goal. It wasn't allowed to blink.
Yeah, and then yeah, Mason got
He
extremely
caught up
fucked.
really quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I vomited like 4 times that night.
I didn't vomit at all.
What's all this about? I must have been in the bathroom for this. But what happened between you and Cameron?
Don't say my full name like that.
That just makes it way more
What
serious.
happened?
I don't know. I was super drunk. I don't remember anything.
I don't think that any of us remember anything. We're just gonna leave that
yeah,
detail.
yeah,
I remember.
I'm gonna leave that little detail.
What is that?
Wait, you don't know?
I don't know.
Toby wasn't there.
Shit.
Why are you saying it like that?
Shit.
Toby wasn't there.
Let's just say that Toby missed out on a few little things.
Did I miss out on Mason's dreams?
And there's what?
Mason's
Parsley,
dreams
parsley.
coming true?
No.
Oh,
Well,
you
kind
fucking
of.
wish, mate.
Look, we're gonna leave out some details here because I just don't want to deal with the Twitter
I mean,
comments.
you do know that this just makes it sound way worse than I assume it was.
It probably does make it
Yeah.
sound really bad.
Everyone's
Leave
like,
it
oh
to
my
their
God.
imaginations. That's way more fun.
Basically,
sucks.
basically, no one had sex. Basically, Mason just got so fucked up that we
Then
ended
he
up.
finger bashed me in a bathroom.
That's true. I watched
Yeah, it's
Pretty fucked up.
definitely not from what happened. Far from the truth. No, we ended up carrying you through the streets of Melbourne, just shirtless, by your arms and legs, just like screaming your head off.
Yeah, yep.
And I feel like when you're in that state, part of it was you're playing it along with the bit, right? Like,
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But it was
But
still
at the same time, I can barely fucking move.
yeah, like,
Dude,
you
oh
were
really
my
acting at that
God.
point.
you were trash, but you were also. You were fucking with us, but it was funny. Like we were literally carrying him arm and leg, and he was like, ah! Like his head was like this close to the concrete, just almost hitting it every time.
I didn't even have to walk, mate.
It's also raining and shit. Yeah. And yeah, you just had so much energy. You just kept on like, towards the end of the night, you literally were chasing me through the streets. And I was just like trying to escape because you were trying to like jump onto me and hang onto me like a koala. And
I
I
just
was,
kept clawing on you. I was like, fucking.
I was just like, look, I don't have the energy for this anymore. Like, so I was like running along. I managed to escape you, and then yeah, you eventually caught up and you just fucking like literally bolted into me and just clasped onto me like a koala. And then I was like, all right, I think
No
you
more.
need to go home.
We're done.
But yeah, before that, we were carrying Mason. We were walking to Burger King.
Hungry Jacks. Burger
Hungry
King.
Jacks,
Hungry Jacks,
as it's
yeah.
called in
Same thing.
Australia.
Yeah.
And yeah, we see these police officers just standing around looking real suspect. And they were looking at us as well. And I was like, oh man, I hope they don't fucking like, you know, start asking us questions or some shit. Because Mason literally looked like he was on crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Just,
It was a scary
it was
ass.
like an exorcism kind of shit.
Yeah.
Stuffed bald cunt walking down, just all.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we were just carrying him. And it turns out that they were actually standing around this homeless guy who appeared to be bleeding, unfortunately.
Wait, that really?
I don't know. I think there was something wrong with this homeless guy. You know, God,
Oh my
God bless him.
God.
Hope he's okay.
I was literally the whole night. I was looking at homeless people, and I was just telling everyone, I was like, "Is he homeless? Like, what's? Is he okay?
my
Like, is he
God.
okay?" To everyone, oh
You're
my
like a
God.
kid at the zoo, Jay.
That was what I felt like. Wait, one of them was bleeding.
There was a guy lying down. I don't know if he was bleeding or not. You know, like
I might have actually seen something that I shouldn't have.
needless to say, this homeless guy was not in a good way, and these cops were, I think, just trying to. They were waiting for paramedics or something, or I don't know what they were doing, but they were basically guarding this homeless guy. And yeah, we just walk past, carrying Mason arm and leg,
And they were like, no, we got fucking priorities.
Yeah,
here.
we're like-
fuck this shit.
evening, and just walked on past the Burger King. And yeah, then we just proceeded to. I mean, I was actually significantly less drunk than everyone else, so I was just kind of enjoying the show. Jay was off his tits.
Are we at Hungry Jack's yet?
Yeah, Hungry Jack's.
Oh fuck!
We're at Hungry Jack's, and Ryan places a big order as usual.
Oh my God! I was screaming for chips. I was like, "Where's the chippies? Where's the chippies?" And then a bag just appears in front of me. I was screaming for like 20 minutes. It just boom, and I look in the bag, and there's just hundreds upon hundreds of chips, and I freak out.
And they were fucking fresh
They were
too.
so good.
They
From
were
then-
so
It
good.
was
cunt.
so
From
good.
then on, Jay was just in pure ecstasy eating these Hungry Jack's chippies.
Holy shit!
And yeah, we also had like McDonald's sauce from next door.
Yeah, there's
combining
literally
the
a
two.
McDonald's right next door
Yeah.
to it too.
And yeah, and then Mason's got into the fucking burgers, the Whoppers.
Yeah.
And you just, I don't know if you remember this. I actually have a lot of footage on my phone of you just sitting there holding like a floppy burger, shaking it around your hand and going, "This is the best burger ever! Hungry Jack's makes the best burgers!
I do remember being in that loop of the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
For like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
we were just going,
Just
Hungry
screaming
Jack's
it.
makes the best burgers!
I had-
McDonald's is shit, you guys are way better!
I had to be separated. I remember having to be separated from Mason because I started throwing shit at him, being like, "Say something else! Say something else! You're being
Stuck in a loop.
unoriginal!" And I was throwing shit, spitting water at him. Like he threw a chip at my eye. It was
crazy.
Wasn't our editor Mitchell sitting next to you and he was feeding you chips?
Yeah, and they were the best chips. And I found out later that he was picking them up off the floor and feeding them to me. It was so good. Are you kidding me? What kind of seasonings on the floor?
Extra grease.
Yeah,
Oh
extra
my
grease.
God.
Mason saying that this was the best burger ever. Last night I went out because they were streaming, so I drove at like 4 a.m. and I got Mason and Kobe some Whoppers,
And they were the shittest
and they were
burgers.
so crap.
Dude,
But what do you expect? It's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You're just gonna get Burger King foot lettuce at
No,
that
but in
hour.
theory, you would think that at 4 a.m. because no one else is ordering at that time, they would have to make something fresh. for
Nah,
you.
but the workers are like, they're tired.
Yeah, it's
4 a.m. is at a fast food joint is like, fuck anyone who comes in here because they're normally drunk and they're just sick of your shit.
Yeah.
And yes, this group was very drunk and they were very sick of our shit. There were people right on the booth next to us. Like, just enjoying a meal, just having a conversation.
kidding me?
And Mason's just in the back going like, Hungry Jack's makes the best fucking burgers, cat! Like, just over and over. I've never seen you get stuck in a
I
loop.
started throwing fucking chips everywhere and shit. cunt.
Dude, fucking this one hit me in the eye, and I had permanent eye damage since then.
He's never recovered.
Never. It was fucked.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's basically what happened on Sunday. Good celebration for the test tour.
Yeah.
Because it was fucking good, and it's gonna be great.
It was great.
Yeah, so-
I was a little worried as to how it was going to go, but
Yeah.
after that, I feel very confident that we can pull off a good
So
tour.
good.
So what we did was we basically contacted this comedy club, a really nice comedy club in Melbourne, and they said that we could do a testing there, and we kind of just sat on a stage with there was probably like 10 friends in the crowd,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we
some-
just sat on some stools and did a full podcast as if it was the live show, not breaking it and anything, just completely committing to it, and it worked really well.
Yeah, I was able to wear my helmet for 32 minutes straight until it
is
started to
insane.
hurt, and then I had to take it off and continue the show. And it was funny every time I had the microphone in my hand, because not only we had stands, we were holding them, and I tried to put it up to my mouth and it just fucking clang on my helmet, just make this fucking noise.
yeah,
I
but
gotta be more mindful.
I shook the owner's hand and he nearly fucking broke it.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
what happened there?
Oh, he just like came up and he was like, "Oh, yeah, g'day, mate. Nice to meet you." I was like, "Yeah, nice to meet you, mate." And he shook my hand. I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck, man?"
You actually said that. didn't you?
He did.
No, I think I literally said like, "Oh, you fucking cunt" or something.
Yeah, actually?
Yeah, he was like, "Whoa, what? Are you okay? You okay?"
I was like, "Nah, I'm alright, mate."
Dude.
Oh, is that because you hurt your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I sprained it. So like,
But he
it
didn't
was
tell the
already
guy
fucked.
that. He was just like, oh, you
I
hurt
just-
my hand.
I just wasn't expecting like such a firm fucking grip.
No,
dude.
what I mean was, so you got your hand shook, and then you just kind of freaked out, and you just kept freaking out, but you never at any point told him,
He had no
oh,
idea.
it's because my hand was already sore. Like, you just left him thinking that you're a weak little bitch who couldn't handle a handshake.
I did inform him. Okay, all right.
Yeah, a while after you
He no
ended up
longer
actually
thinks I'm a
saying
weak
it.
little bitch. All right.
Go up to him like 30 minutes later. Hey, mate, just so you know, I'm not actually a bitch. I just sprained my hand. Like,
Got a sprained
I'm
hand.
actually a tough dog, man. Come on.
it was funny. We had this whole comedy club to ourselves. It's weird as well because like lots of comedy legends had been on that stage before us. Like
Yeah.
up on the screen, we're seeing Rogan, Kevin Hart, a lot of big
Jimmy
names.
Carr.
Jimmy Carr, and here we are, just this most scuffed group with like very little experience. We ate a whole fish and chips meal.
With no fish.
With no fish, like before the show, like the whole place was it was such a weird experience. I'm really glad that they were so welcoming to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, even though I've literally forgotten the name of the club.
So
So
have I.
fucking rip. But no,
Announced soon.
it was good, and yeah, I mean, it was really just evidence that we can actually pull the shit off.
Yeah.
We apparently are talented.
Apparently.
Apparently,
In
Yeah.
theory.
we just need to kind of come up with, I guess, antics to
Yeah.
make the show interesting. And,
Yeah.
To make it the
Props.
best.
That's
Like, it's
more
gotta be
than
the
just the
best.
podcast.
Yeah.
You know.
But needless to say, after the show, we were all just energized as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing really. I've forgotten what it feels like to actually perform like that. And obviously we're only doing it in front of our close friends, so
The
there was no
adrenaline's
risk.
still
But
there.
it's still like you feel good performing. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh shit, this is like actually.
It was a quick hour.
It's a quick
It
hour.
went,
It
it went
was.
by very, very quick.
Very easy, very relaxed. Yeah, and obviously it's just a podcast that we were doing, really. But it's still, sometimes it's hard. Podcasting is actually like a lot harder than I thought it would be.
It's extremely hard to do live.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just in general, even like this podcast, I think has taught me a lot about or just giving me a new respect for really fucking good podcasts and just
Yeah.
how they can just keep going for hours. Because I don't know, man. Like it's different than I thought it would be. It's like when I went into this, I was like, oh, surely it'll be fucking easy. Like we've got so many
Yeah,
stories, keep it going for an hour. But it's actually like at times it's like, man, this is actually takes a lot of mental effort to do the show. Not that I'm complaining. I'm just
Just got to talk more shit, dude.
you got some shit to talk about.
Mate.
Well, speaking of shit, Jay, how was your Uber ride over here?
Oh my god, it was the worst Uber ride. Okay, so like, I'm coming from a house, and the first thing I see was like this. It's watch this guy's video about how like awesome of an Uber driver he is, and I'm like, oh shit. I watch it. I'm like, yeah, this is sick as.
Oh, like on the actual
Yeah,
app?
yeah, yeah, on the
What
app.
is that?
What's
Yeah.
that?
It's
I
like
know.
sort of like a dating profile shit. It's
Yeah,
like tell their
very
whole
cool.
life story.
It was like
and
he's
shit. It's like-
completed 7,000 5-star trips. I'm like, oh shit, I got the best one ever. I go into the Uber. I'm like, has this guy like been farting and shit in here? Because it smelled like it like reeked of farts.
Oh my god.
And so I was like, I can deal with it. It's only like a 5-minute drive here. And turns out there's massive traffic. It was like 25 minutes to get here when it's supposed to be like 5 minutes. And I'm 90% sure that the Uber driver shit himself because he leans over to like the right and does that awkward pose where you're like, oh fuck, I got a sore ass stomach and I need to let out a fart. But if I like sit up straight, it'll just be the loudest fart ever.
Oh, no.
And so he lets out the silent and the most violent fart. And like as soon as he does it, I just see all the windows just go. And I'm like, okay. And then it just fucking reeked.
Man, I bet he would have been embarrassed. Like you gotta.
I obviously had a bit of sympathy for him, but then he's driving at like 200 k's an hour trying to get to his destination so I can get out of the car. I was like, oh my god.
Dude, fucking yeah. I mean, as the Uber driver, as soon as you roll down the windows after that, you're basically just admitted defeat. You're
Yeah.
basically just told your passenger like, yeah, that was me, dude.
Yeah,
Like, my
Like
bad.
he 100% knew that he shit himself, but like, can I sue him? I'm literally gonna get pink eye. Like,
Can I sue him?
Yeah,
Sue him.
I don't think that's gonna hold up in court.
he farted on me.
He farted. He like basically hotboxed you.
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh,
That was a 0.2 star experience.
And it was raining.
Did
like
you
hell.
rate him?
No.
You're
Should
not-
I?
Look, dude, I'm not
I'm
the
just
kind of
gonna-
guy that
Yeah,
ever
I-
leave a review
Yeah,
below
exactly. I
5
just
stars.
don't. I like
Yeah.
don't if I'm not going.
Because it's a tough gig being
yeah,
an Uber driver.
exactly.
You gotta.
Especially if you actually have like some problem down there.
Yeah, if he's sick,
Yeah.
you don't know if he just fucking went to Hungry Jack's and had a
Yeah,
bad Whopper,
exactly.
and then all of a sudden, oh shit, this just came up.
Yeah.
And
Like, you
I
can
already
never
accepted
tell.
the ride. So he just had an unfortunate
Yeah,
evening.
so I had a bit of sympathy for him, but at the end of the day, like if I get pink eye,
You're gonna sue him.
Swagger,
Assume, yeah.
I reckon that you, considering that your face isn't public, you should be an Uber driver for a week. See how it goes.
I honestly
Fuck
think you should do that.
Fuck driving people around, especially people I don't know. In my own, if I don't even have a car to drive people in either.
It is funny how common it's become. Like, because Uber is obviously very safe,
Yeah.
but it's,
Yeah, sure.
It's kind of crazy how it's now just the norm to just get in a stranger's car. Like, oh yeah, I'll just get an Uber.
Yeah.
Is that like what
Yeah.
the joke is? Like your parents always told you not to like get in strangers' cars from people you met on the internet, and then you do
Yeah,
just
but
that.
there's a database, and you could report Uber drivers if they do something wrong. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
very
but,
like,
easily
shit
tracked
themselves
and
and
Uber is-
all of that shit.
It is unbelievably unsafe.
I mean, all it
To
takes
some
is
degree.
all it takes is for him
There's
to just be
so
having
many
a bad.
Uber murders and Uber rapes and all that.
Really?
Really?
That's a 0 star.
I don't
bro.
know. Yeah, that's a
I don't-
1-star rating.
I wouldn't know if there's very many. Like,
No.
really, like 2 or 3 a year is a lot. Like,
I
it's-
mean,
There's always gonna be
earlier
some
on there was a
crazy-
lot more as well, I guess. But in the early days of Uber, it was fucked. There was news articles like every week about it.
That's fucked.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how much of that is media hype and how much of it's an actual problem. I've gotten into
Taxis.
hundreds of Ubers and I've never had an issue. But then again, I'm not a woman.
it might be a case of like the kind of bullshit that Tesla has to deal with on Twitter, where news articles are constantly like Tesla has an accident where like this happened and passenger gets damaged, and it's like but like their stats are like 70% lower than
anomaly.
every other car.
It's like when you're like the new up and coming thing that's like different from everyone else.
Yeah.
Everyone targets you and looks
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
shit wrong,
whereas
Taxis
like
writing hit pieces on
Well,
Uber.
yeah, but I mean, even if it is like 0.1%, and that doesn't mean that it's not a problem,
I mean, it's a problem, but it's also like you take a risk every day when you just go out in
Yeah.
public.
No,
you
I'm
know?
not. Like, I still use Ubers all the time.
Yeah, but the point is that like you can't at a certain level, a certain percentage, you can't judge the company because that's just the risk of being a
well,
person
no,
in
yeah.
society.
The company policy isn't if you get in our car, we're gonna rape and murder you. It's-
No, the
that's
company policy is hire anyone that has a heartbeat without checking anything.
Sure.
Uber definitely has its issues, and apparently
Yeah.
they're getting worse as far as how they treat their drivers. So I don't know, dude.
That's why they're
But-
shitting on people now.
But I mean, it's also a godsend. I mean, like it
so
shows
convenient.
very few young people are getting even driver's licenses anymore because Uber is just so fucking convenient. Like, why would you even bother? It's pretty safe, and you don't have to worry about driving drunk and shit or high.
Yeah. I've had some interesting, discussions with Uber drivers, like over the last couple of months that I've been here. I've had some really interesting talks with people that have interesting backgrounds. This one guy, he was majoring in astrophysics, and then he dropped down and he did like computer science and programming for he got like a doctorate in it, and then he just ended up like retiring and he just drives Ubers. So, I was just talking with him. I was like, yeah, what do you think of all this like AI shit? Like, what do you think of, all that? I was having like that conversation, and he was telling me, he's like, oh, dude, like, this is like what I study. Like, this is what I'm really into. And, we're having a conversation about AI, and he's, we're just fucking, I'm driving to Ryan's house, and he's just, driving me there. It's a 15-minute drive. And he's like, yeah, at a certain point, the rate of technology as we go up with artificial intelligence, it's an exponential curve. And you know how in an exponential curve, when it approaches like the peak part, where it just goes from nothing to just infinite, he says, as soon as you hit that, it's going to be an instantaneous, irreversible change because we're going to go from knowing nothing to knowing everything in an instant. And the way he's describing this to me was just absolutely scary and mind-boggling. He's like, hey, man, buckle up because this is happening in your lifetime. Maybe not mine, but definitely yours.
It's crazy. I mean, AI.
That's
It's going to be very similar to the boom of the internet, I guess, which is you could say definitely followed a similar curvature. Like at the beginning, only a very few people used it. Very few people use it, and all of a sudden, it's like everyone uses it all the fucking time, and everything is on it, and you can't live your life without it.
I wouldn't mind like fucking AI robots and shit.
Bro, it's kind of creepy though.
Yeah,
right?
but that's you, Mason.
But yeah, well, I mean,
you just want to fuck something.
like what? Like what?
You just want to fuck a robot.
Fucking just sex robots, Jay.
I can get a bit crafty. I can make my own, mate.
What kind of robots are you looking into, man?
Ones with big lips.
Big old lips.
Have you seen that thing that came out that Joe Rogan recently tweeted and talked about, where they took his voice and made it sound like he was having like these conversations about like that he invested in an ice hockey team completely comprised of chimps, and like what it's like being a robot. And it sounded, if you had heard it, you would
Wow.
not have
That's the shit
suspected
that scares me.
Yeah, you would
That
not
and
have
the deepfake
suspected that
things.
it was like a deepfake. And very recently, I think it was Samsung's AI team demonstrated an AI that was able to show a person talking and moving their head and
Yeah.
doing everything from one picture,
Yeah.
from
It's-
one angle.
That's
Yeah.
unreal.
That's
saw
Like they were
that
taking
I
like
don't
old
like that.
classic paintings and like
Yes.
making them talk and
Making
like
them
move their heads
Mona
around.
Lisa talk like.
Yeah, literally, they were doing shit like that.
That is very, very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is extremely
Yeah,
dangerous.
I mean, deepfakes just in general are
Yeah.
crazy good.
That's fun.
Yeah, and like
It's
really
very much going to be like it's going to reach that age on the internet where you literally just cannot see or believe anything you see.
It's gonna
Yeah.
get there. It's already almost there. There was I can't remember who the actor was. It's a famous actor. He wasn't.
Jordan Peele, I think. is
No,
what
no,
you're
no. It was
talking
something else. He was on a talk show. I can't remember what it was. And like someone phased another person's face completely onto it, and like it was the creepiest thing because it was literally phasing in and out of the other person's face into his regular face, like
Yeah.
in real time, and it was so seamless that you could barely even tell like which face that he had. It was like this weird blend of the two. And it was
Right.
like you were like, what am I looking at? This is so distressing. Like,
Some
Far
weird,
out.
some weird
It's like-
cunt's gonna like fucking program a robot to purge cunts or some shit.
Bruh, some crazy shit is coming in our lifetime.
Yeah.
You say something like that. I believe it was DARPA that was working on a robot that it was programmed for war and it ran off of biomass, like biofuel. So what it would do, essentially, the design of this robot was it would murder people on the battlefield and then it would eat their body for fuel.
Are you kidding
That's
me?
literally like
that was,
Terminator
I
shit.
believe
What the
that was the design. I
What-
could be
when was
wrong.
This, when was this? Like what time?
It was a couple. it was a while ago.
6
but-
months,
Next
8
minute
months
they
ago.
start-
That's what, like, apparently they were looking into. I don't know if they
No,
canceled
they
the project.
made it, but then they eventually canceled it
Yeah,
because
well,
everyone was like, "What the
well,
fuck?
well,
That's
you know,
fucked."
you're gonna make a fucking robot that eats people? Are you fucking insane?
You know how many movies are at that? We already know what's going to happen.
They'll
if you do
literally
it.
start digging through
What about
graveyards
it? Like,
and shit
what
to
about
fucking
it?
get
What,
fuel.
like, what about a nuclear reactor, Di? You can't just put a fucking nuclear reactor on it and be like, "That's fine, that's good enough for energy," or solar power.
Nah.
And it has to eat
It's
bodies.
going to solve a lot of problems. It's going to like break into old people's homes and eat the
Yeah,
people.
yeah, oh, true.
Just get rid of them. That's what
It'll
I say.
solve the like population issue.
We're already overpopulated. Just start
Yeah.
killing cunts and eating them. Like get the robots to take
Yeah.
care of
Just
them.
rename it to Thanos and you're good.
Just let them loose.
Thanos won.
That's terrifying. It actually consumes human flesh
Yes.
and then just makes it into biomatter or something.
Something
or,
like that. and
Biofuel.
It just fucking runs on it.
Fuck! Imagine how scary it'd be just seeing a robot munching on a human.
Yeah, I wonder what his
Get a
mouth looks
fucking
like.
pail of water and
would it
toss
be
it at
like
it.
would it be like one of those wood chippers where it's just like it
Oh,
just sucks you in?
I don't want to
Let's not,
know.
let's
That's
not.
too much detail.
Yeah, I wonder-
Just a high tech blender.
Hey guys, welcome back to Blend
Yeah,
10.
just
Today on
Blend
Will It
Tech.
Blend?
fucking
No,
Jesus
don't
Christ.
like that. I
Will
don't
it
like
blend? Grandma.
If you're ever, hey guys, if you're ever in a situation you're running away from a flesh-eating robot, and you're like, shit, I just don't have enough energy. Go to gamersubs.gg/misfits. Or use code misfits. Fucking whatever.
we always fuck
Just-
up the URL.
Yeah,
Just-
just fucking. It's gamersubs.gg. Go there. Fucking misfits. It's the best fucking drink. You'll get energy. It's keto. It's vegan. It's lit.
Yeah.
All right.
And it ain't chalky like G Fuel. Fuck him. Yeah.
Yeah. Make you run fast.
G Fuel
Outrun
isn't
that
for
robot.
gamers.
No, it's not.
No.
It's really not for gamers.
It's too mainstream.
You know what G Fuel's for? Normies.
Gays.
Yeah.
Gay
Fuel's gay fuel.
Oh shit! That's a, whoa.
All
That's
right,
too far.
we're now awaiting a lawsuit.
Gay fuel.
Allegedly.
I always thought that I often had a conversation with my parents actually where I was telling them that there wouldn't be something in my lifetime as dramatic as the internet was in their lifetime in terms of like a change that just flips society like head over heels.
Yeah.
But it seems like AI really will be that for us.
Oh,
I think so. Extremely. I mean,
AI would be crazy.
AI isn't all a bad thing. AI, a lot
for
of
sure.
bad stuff comes with AI, but a lot of really great stuff comes with it too. I mean, they've been working on, I believe, making fusion reactors for ages. And one of the issues with making a fusion reactor is that you can have the reactor, but in order to have the fusion reaction go for a while, they have to have the perfect they have thousands of variables they have to tweak and adjust every time they do an experiment, and then they compare, and it's just a lot of fucking manual labor of them trying to mix and match variables to get the right result. Now, with AI and machine learning, it can just fucking calculate everything, and, you just do, simulations, and you just get the exact right results and the perfect outcome that they need.
Yeah, fucking smart.
I feel like the real danger with AI isn't, the typical fear of a post-apocalypse where the AI takes over and starts murdering people in the
Singularity.
streets. It's more, the danger with it is more how many people are going to be out of work because their position will just become irrelevant, and how much is it going to affect just how convenient it makes everyone's life. Because I feel like that's dangerous to a certain extent. Like, society is just becoming more and more convenient. More and more things are just being removed as far as like effort you actually have to put in. And I think that's a big reason why we might be seeing a big rise in things like depression and anxiety, is because
people just have nothing to do.
People, they just like all of the responsibilities that normally you kind of need to have in order to feel fulfilled. Like you don't need them anymore. Like there's a lot of things that just are that are kind of essential. Like even exercise or leaving the house.
It's gonna be like Wall-E. You're just sitting on a chair at the end of the day. That's it.
It's an interesting statistic that people in first world countries compared to third world countries have exponentially higher rates of suicide. That more people in a first world country, with running water, with access to food, access to tons of resources, get to the point where they off themselves. Whereas somebody in a third world country, you'd think, well, their life must be so miserable. They have to go and get water every day. And, the water's not always clean, and they have to fend off against fucking predators, and having to make sure that their community is okay, or they're ridden with war and anything like that.
Which all of those things are true, obviously. But it's definitely like
them a reason to survive.
As far as how you feel day to day, I think there's a big difference there.
I feel like in first world countries as well, you're a lot more exposed to better things. Like something that's better than you have. Like you're a lot more exposed to like hope and like your dreams and stuff of what you could have, and often that is very unobtainable.
Happiness is very perspective based, and like if you're surrounded constantly with people who seem better than you, you're always going to feel like shit.
I don't feel that bad.
But it's I don't know. Look, the last thing we're trying to say here is that people in third world countries have it easy.
No, are you fucking kidding me? That was not my point.
I know.
It was not my point.
I know that's not the point. I just feel like I have to say it because I know there'll be some idiot in the comments like, look at these fucking first world assholes complaining about their problem. Like,
Look, not at all.
I'm just saying that it's interesting how like convenience isn't necessarily always a beneficial thing in the long term for society. And like, I feel like a lot of people in society as it is now actually have to go back to more rudimentary forms of living their life to kind of get just kind of feel like they're in place in some sense and feel like they're okay. Like that's why people go out of their way to exercise when they don't have to anymore. It's because like it's actually important that you otherwise you will literally just feel kind of like incompetent, I guess, in some way.
Everybody should own a farm.
That's
you wake up at 6 a.m., you feed the chickens, you milk the cows, you do your work, you plow the fields.
You fuck your sister.
It's perfect. It's paradise.
Putting in rewarding work is just fucking super important, and I'm just worried that AI is going to just remove more and more of that, rather, to the point where it's just like you're just getting spoon-fed everything that you need. But you're not really getting everything that you need, like in terms of mental stimulation.
Not what you really need.
The AI YouTubers are going to be lit.
It's just gonna be like Bill Clinton and stuff.
There's gonna be like there's gonna be this like social media celebrities that are literally just androids, that are just designed to be perfect in every single way.
What if they just start making like a fake celebrity on like something like Twitter where it's like they don't exist? They come up with someone's face, again, like someone that doesn't exist, and it just has an AI to do tweet and everything,
Yeah, imagine if they can make a fake Instagram model, like you're saying, and just totally generate an image of a person that doesn't exist, but they're just perfect.
And the AI knows like what kind of post does well, and it just keeps doing it.
They have Natsune Miku, that virtual anime girl that does the concerts and stuff. She's kind of like a virtual celebrity. But, not in the sense that she's an AI or anything, but
But that's also like it's open that's obviously an AI.
Obviously.
What we're talking about is like, imagine like they just create an Instagram model from scratch,
Right.
and just
That looks real.
that looks real. Everything about them is real, and they just
She, like,
generate.
blows up.
They just generate posts every
Yeah.
day that are just fucking amazing, incredible. Like, oh my god, this person
And
looks
they're
amazing
actually taking
live.
videos and it's deep fake.
Yeah, everything's
like
everything.
100% AI
That's,
generated.
that would
And-
be an incredible
I think that could
demonstration.
easily happen within 5 years.
And then
Okay.
companies just farm brand deals, and they just make millions
Wow.
off these fake
Holy
influencers.
shit, let's cut this out. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, can we
We're going to make
trademark this?
millions. We're actually going to make millions. Cut us out.
Maybe they already exist right now.
System testing, yeah.
Stop.
What if we're all
Black Mirror, guys. We're living in Black
June
Mirror.
6th.
Well, new Black Mirror is coming out soon, actually.
I mean,
I'm so excited.
Instagram people's lives are fake enough as it is anyway.
Oh,
There's
Yeah, you're
pretty
not going to
much
notice
that
any
already.
difference. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram is it's very
Instagram's
crazy.
fucked.
Instagram is so fucked. I don't go on the app anymore. I should
Yeah,
probably post on it
I
more. but-
deactivated mine.
I don't follow people. I follow like car stuff and shit
Sure.
like that. But people, it's just so strange.
Yeah, I feel like it's bad to like just label it as like, oh, Instagram's bad. Like you can still follow stuff like your hobbies and your own interests, you know,
Yeah.
but like you can get too deep into it, just following like celebrities and shit.
A
Like
lot
that,
of
just
people.
pointless shit.
It's just weird to think that a lot of people every day will think, "Oh, time to take out my rectangle and scroll through people whose lives are better than mine for like 30 minutes." Like that's an active decision
Yeah.
that lots
Yeah.
of people make every single
Yeah,
day.
and
Like,
there are
it's not-
also
It's
like,
just weird.
There's also the other side of it where there's so many like young people that they'll have like 500 followers or something and they'll treat it like a job. you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I gotta get a photo out today.
Yeah,
Gotta get a
yeah.
photo. Oh, I didn't get that many likes today,
Dude.
and it's like all of their self
Very
worth
unhealthy.
comes from followers and likes and shit.
Aspiring influencers. That's a touchy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, especially when they already feel entitled when they only have like a couple thousand followers.
Yeah,
and,
there
like,
was someone that DM'd me on Instagram today saying, like, I've got so many followers and bragging. It was literally just an account of your video clips that had 55k followers. That was just the biggest ego I've ever
Fucking
seen.
shit cunts, man.
Like,
I don't know, man.
sit-
It's
settle
very
down.
weird. Remember that kid that was locked outside VidCon the other year?
oh, that's
yeah.
right.
Wait, what
That
happened?
fucking model guy that
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
he
Oh,
was
yeah.
yelling at the
That
security
blonde
guard,
fuck.
going like, you're
you know who I
nobody, you're
am?
nobody. I'm,
That shit,
you're a
yeah.
fucking, waste of life, any of that shit.
Yeah, there was just this kid, this attractive young guy, and he clearly had an Instagram page. I think he had like 10,000 followers. something.
13,
Yeah.
it was like
13.
13K.
This kid was just off his nut ego-wise,
Yeah.
just like, I'm a fucking influencer. You're fucking like disgusting. You're ugly. like
nothing.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, didn't like the internet like finally blow up and like blow up the
Yeah.
security guard? Now he has more followers
The
than the first
security
guy.
guard made an Instagram and then got him more followers.
It's just like crazy to think there's a lot of kids out there like that guy
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
don't blow up, like that don't like. No one knows that they're being assholes every day. Like there's a lot of people that just live with that
Yeah, yeah,
mentality
yeah.
of like, look, my fucking little, I'm an influencer. I got my fucking.
Clout, by the way.
Ah, dude, it's gross. Dude.
Cloud
It's
is
gross.
gay.
I hate that
Cloud
term.
is so dumb.
like that
It's such an LA word.
Yes,
I
yes.
fucking hate it.
I've got something. I got a story to tell.
Let's go.
that?
Story
It's not,
time.
it's not a
Story
big
time.
story. It's a very short story.
Okay.
But someone came into my chat the other day, and they go my Twitch chat, and they're like, "Hey, Toby, are you aware that your sister is selling spoons for $10?" I was like, "What the fuck? She's selling spoons for $10?"
Like
Turns
the
out,
utensil.
turns
Yeah.
the
Okay, thank God.
utensil.
Okay, I was gonna say. I was like,
No, but turns out my little sister was taking spoons to her school and selling them as Misfits used spoons.
Oh my god.
oh,
Isn't that hilarious?
That is, and it probably, that shit would have been in the dishwasher.
Bro,
Yeah,
she's a
it's- I
fucking
mean-
shithead cunt.
I mean, also, like, wait, you guys been to my house once.
Were people buying them?
stole spoon.
Wait, are you
buying
saying your sister, when she came here, actually stole spoons from the
No,
Misfits
no, no,
house?
no. From my house in
So
New
she's just
Zealand.
lying.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I
more
mean-
pissed off about that
I mean,
than I am that she's selling us.
There's maybe a chance you would have used one, and there's a chance I would have used one.
I may have
Other
used
than
one
that,
as well. Like, since
yeah,
we were
maybe.
over before.
That's in the
maybe-
fine print. Like 1% chance Fitz licked the spoon at some point. Dude, people are buying this shit.
it's like spoon
Yeah,
float
but here's
value.
the thing. Here's the thing.
She's made millions.
Here's the thing. Like, my little sister, she's got parents that will buy her. Like, she gets spoiled like a little shit. Why does she need $10? Why is she selling
Well,
a
she's
fucking
getting $10
spoon?
a fucking spoon, can't she? Probably selling like 10 at a
I
time.
just don't understand why. Has people bought it? People have bought these spoons?
Well, the person came to my chat and said, "Hey, my mate bought a spoon off your sister for $10."
that must be a weird fucking thing.
And my reaction was
Just-
instantly like, "Why did she only charge $10? Like, she doesn't need that money. Why is she doing it?"
That's odd.
strange.
That's,
Yeah.
that's weird. How would they have even known that it was a Misfits used spoon and just not a spoon that you just took out? Because it's probably just a spoon that you took out of the drawer.
Yeah, no, I mean, also when I lived at home, it was the same as living here. I ordered Uber Eats pretty much every day. I
didn't even use your
I
spoon.
never
So
used
These are
cutlery.
plastic spoons. They're
I
not
didn't
actual
even
metal
ever
ones.
use plates. Like, there's very few things in my house that I would have actually used. She should be selling cups.
Wait, can we?
You see this little branding opportunity?
She's in
here?
the wrong game.
Does that mean
Get in the
that we
mug
can start
game.
like listing all our trash and Uber Eats bags on eBay?
Oh my
For
God,
like $5 a
Don't
pop.
even
People will
fucking-
buy it. There we
Don't
go.
even start, dude. What the fuck?
Where is this
That's
conversation
such
going?
that's weird, man. It's just so weird.
Clout.
Crazy. It's like
Funny that someone bought one. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me either, though.
it's funny that she had the idea in the first place. Who's like, was there like demand
Look,
for it?
look.
People like, yo, you know what you should do? You should fucking sell some spoons because I would totally buy one.
My
Or she
little
just-
sister, she I feel like she probably tells people.
How old is she again?
14, 15?
Too young to be selling spoons.
Too young to be selling meth.
Yeah, that's what they're using them for. She should sell them to crack addicts.
That was a good spoon.
You look like you need a spoon, bitch.
Just heroin spoons.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
but- no, it's so crazy. I mean,
it's nuts.
like my having a family member who is the same age as sort of our audience. Like my two sisters, one's 17, one's 14 or 15. So they both are at high school, and high school is like our primary demographic. So having a sibling that lives in the same house as me, that has friends that, you know, watch me and stuff, was so weird. Because, you know, she'd bring friends over, and there would be people that would just knock on my door and I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? And just kids would come in and be like,
Yeah.
hi, can I get a picture? It's like
Oh my god.
really uncomfortable.
That would be
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Because,
Yeah.
you know, purely because it was in my own house where it's like the privacy.
I bet
I-
people probably ask her when she's at school as well, like about us. I know my brother has to go through some of that, who's still in high school. It's just weird, man. It's a weird dynamic for sure.
It's weird for some of my friends that are still in college. This one girl I know, she said that she went out with this guy, and they went back to his, and they did whatever, and then they were lying in bed, and the guy turns to her and goes, "Hey, do you watch any YouTubers?" And she was like, "Yeah, I watch a couple or whatever." And he goes, Yeah, I've been watching this one guy for a while. I don't know if you heard of him, and his name's a bit like, it's kind of weird. You probably haven't heard of him. She's like, well, who is it? Whatever. And he goes, it's Swagger Souls. He's like, I know the name is weird, and he does like gaming stuff. So maybe you didn't know.
That sounds like
And-
someone that is trying to figure out
Give a
who you
picture
are.
of his face.
Yeah, it's like, you know who he is.
No, because he didn't know that she knew me or any of that shit.
Are you sure?
Seems weird that he would bring that up unless he knew.
The line of questioning makes it seem like
seems like he was trying to hide it.
I don't know her that well. She just brought this up to me. She said it was just a random thing that she just brought it up because he apparently was a fan and he was just watching my videos all the time.
So did she tell him that?
No, she didn't tell him anything, but she told me that, and she said she thought it was funny. It's just weird. It's just really weird. I guess widespread we are, where like my friends that know me, that know to keep my identity
Yeah.
secret, just have it brought up to them, or like they see me on Instagram or anything, and they're always like, dude, like, I overhear people talking about your videos like in class.
We are so fucking famous. Holy shit.
My dad, my dad is a doctor. And one time my dad was seeing a patient, and the patient's son was in the room with him watching one of our videos on his phone.
Oh my God, really?
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's so odd.
Thanks for the ad rev. Holy shit. Awesome.
Fucking beauty.
How fucking deep are we into this thing? Is anyone timing this shit?
Sure, let's
That's
go.
what the
Yeah,
Apple-
we're at about an hour.
About an hour?
Yeah.
Let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
Has anyone got anything else they wanted to bring up?
Thanks to Gamer Subs. Make sure to go to the Patreon
Gamer
as well.
Subs.
Yes,
Patreon.
guys,
Patreon.
pledge to the Patreon if you want to support us. That
If you
shit-
want extra shit.
So good.
and
so
if you want us to just be making podcast content, because honestly, we can't really afford to keep going on the budget that we're setting for ourselves.
Yeah.
And it'd be really nice to just have a monthly set budget where it's like, oh, we have this much to just fucking spend on making an insane video.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, patreon.com/misfits, G subs, code misfits. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thanks
Bye,
for
bye.
watching.
See you later.
Let them motherfuckers.
What's up, freak bitches?
What's up, freak bitches? Welcome back to the Misfits podcast. Rated 5 stars on iTunes by Big Cheese Theo. He says, I listen to this podcast with my depressed watermelon.
How big is your cheese?
And how depressed is that watermelon?
How can you have a depressed watermelon?
How big your damn cheese?
I don't think that's a real thing. I think he's lying.
I honestly don't know. I wouldn't put it past old mate Theo. I'm joined today by my co-hosts, Toby,
How big that cheese?
Swagger Souls,
It's rather large.
Zuckles,
But it's wet.
Jay, a.k.a. McCreamy,
Girthy.
Ooh.
and Matt.
But it's round.
Guys, I'm bald.
Sounds like it's
I have 0 here.
Hello, me too.
Yeah, but
No one
yours
cares
isn't
about
a
that.
surprise.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's
Yeah,
used
this
to
is like
seeing
your
you
third
bald.
time now,
Yeah.
man. Everyone's used to that.
Give your head a slap. Give it a slap into the mic.
Head slap.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Concussion ASMR.
Yeah, I shaved my head on Sunday.
I didn't know who you were saying because we're both bald, so I was like, what
I get, everyone gets it. You're bald as well, okay? Way to steal from my spotlight.
Listen, you stole my
You
thunder.
can see the
being
spotlight
bald,
off your
alright?
head.
Yeah, as soon as I went bald, he immediately went and shaved his head. I'm gonna fucking go bald as well.
Bald guy.
Yeah, I went bald on Sunday. I got back from my run, and I was like, you know what? Today is the day that I go bald. And
Are
I
you having a midlife crisis at like 22?
probably, I bought a nice car, and now I'm bald. So, apparently.
Wear a clip-on tie to work.
Yeah, I should wear a clip-on tie to work, Swagger. That is a great idea.
You should wear a strap on to your wife.
Toby, silence.
Sorry.
Guys, we're recording this episode again with cameras. This is probably going to go on YouTube. I think this
You've
one...
said that with the past like 6
Shut
podcasts.
the fuck up, Toby.
Sorry.
Yeah. This one is probably going on YouTube, guys. At least we hope.
Scary.
We don't actually really know. But the problem is that the set is so cramped and so narrow, and there's 6 of us, and we all have to figure out how to get us all on shots. But maybe we figured it out for now, at least temporarily. So that's cool. But yeah, in any case, I'm bald. So.
Yes. Tell me, how did you decide I'm going to go bald? How did you go about it? What was the thought